everyone! Happy Saturday! This is Popsicle. I'm the event director for the annual A Link to the Past No Major Glitches Mentor Program. That means it's not randomized. It is vanilla. There's no save and quit. Today is a progress race, and we're on week 5. So this is the end of week 5. And the race is going to stop after the Minties collect their 6th crystal in their route. So on comms today is Coin Chaser leading, and he is assisted by Owase's Minty Myth. So I will let them introduce today's racers. Good luck and have fun.
Hey,
hello everyone. I'm Coin Chaser. BDI
I'm
and Comp are a couple of my mentees, and we got a few for Pichu and Dreamy. And yes, I am joined by Myth, a mentee as well. How are you doing today?
Hey, it's great. Yeah. It's been an interesting week. There's been a bunch of options in terms of like kind of routing. I think everyone's going to be what we're going to be seeing in this race, and everyone's going to be doing the final in the same order. It should be Swamp then Maya, but that is this is a bit of a flexible part of route, especially as well as shopping and other things that you can do. But it looks like we're away.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna start. How has your process been for the last few weeks as a mentee? Have you been a good sponge absorbing all this information?
There is a lot of information, and that's kind of what I'm taking a bit more of a focus on doing right now, is just like, just trying to absorb as much information as possible. I haven't been doing as much like practice to be nailing out like perfect sections as some of the other people have, but like it's still an absolutely fantastic experience just being connected with everyone in the A Link to the Past community that has all of this information, being able to learn so much. It's been a fantastic experience.
That's fantastic, and honestly, that is the most important thing, is that there's just almost too much information. And so I really do stress that for mentees, that you try to absorb as much as you can, but if you only pick up half or 2/3, that's okay. I always encourage my mentees to be doing a lot of note-taking, because I don't know how many of them really remember what I told them about in Escaping Eastern, since it's been a month since then. So hopefully, that's just it, though. It's just, there's a lot of information in this game, and we're trying to the best way to put it is water down some of the rooms so you can focus on the hardest rooms, and then when you're ready to go for them, we can focus on the other. I think there's like 500 something rooms in this game. But oh, there you go. Blue just wrote 525, just as I was saying it. So but yeah, there are definitely certain rooms where it's like, we've been talking about doing something with this strat. Okay, in this one room, don't do that. You're going to do this instead for this reason.
So we got.
I have to say, everyone just nailed that first key. Oh yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah. We've got a race going on. We can talk about how people are doing. But yeah, we've got a wide range of people participating in this program. So like everyone's going to have different needs and wants, and like where they want to be at the end of it. We've got people who are brand new, never speedrun it before. So like being able to do a full run without dying is a great achievement. And we've got other people that are returning who have played, have done runs of it before, but want to like push it to the next level. So it's everyone's got like a different context with each room of like, what's your aim for this room? Is it get through without dying, or is it optimize those frames?
No, you're absolutely right. Our first real boss is Ball and Chain, and everyone is 8-slashing.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Honestly, everyone did a good job. I don't blame you for running away there. That was a little scary there.
BDI's got pretty bad luck. They got the green guard going to the left, and that kind of just resulted in like them taking a bunch of additional damage before coming down here. So they already started this like that fight a lot worse. But like, yeah, it's totally the reactions, especially in a race situation like this, of just like failing. Go grab the health pot and make that a more consistent fight, because you don't want to be taking a death at that point. It's so much final.
Yeah, it's a good minute to have to come back from. I think you start from the Uncle start, so we at least got that. So as long as we can make it to the crest, we can at least get a heart in the first room of the sewers, and that'll make everything a lot more comfy. I definitely would recommend that when you're at half a heart. I think everyone else has been very clean. Like I said, the key guard one, a few people messed up the boomerang for the second key guard, but everything else has been very solid so far. Nope, he grabbed that part, which is good. Alright, I always tell people that this is probably the harder part, that you have to really study where rats move, is the back half. That is where most people lose their time, so let's see how people maneuver around avoiding some rats and some ropes. And of course our favorite key rat as well.
It's impressive to see how close everyone is. Like, it's been very different. Oh yeah, we can see on Dreamy's side the rat RNG there, just
You gotta be ready for that guy. You gotta have your thumb over the Y button, ready for that guy to just rush you when you're against that right wall. He'd be a jerk.
It's really interesting having such an RNG gauntlet at the beginning of the run here, because like in a race situation, you gotta take whatever you get, and just learn to like go with the punches. But I'm sure in like PB attempts, if you're like when these times like these like seconds matter, it's a lot of resetting. But there's so much to save and optimize before you're really at that stage where a second or so in intro is a massive factor in your run.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, it just comes down to a few slashes. So 2 slashes is about a half a second. So it's not too detrimental where you're like, oh, this was too many rats in my way, I'm going to reset. It comes down to ball and chain and whether you want to deal with a northeastern Seattle rat. We got a bunch of 604, 601 for Pichu. I like that the splits are in the... or at least I can see the splits. So everyone else can see? No.
Yeah.
No. I wonder if it was on ZeldaSpeedRuns as well. But no, that's helpful for us. I think everyone grabbed the scent cart. Very good safety. Highly recommend. Will make your Hera and pod a lot easier. Alright, it's like everyone has gone high enough to not deal with this guard, so he goes up and down, so that's great. Let's see how the Octo field goes. Yeah, anything gets in your way, just slash it or boom it. That's it. Like once something is in this exact path that you need to do, especially if they walk up and down, just get rid of them. There's no reason to be losing a heart this early.
Yeah, I'm trying to have just a broad view and just like try and spot the RNG, but every time I look at Dreamy, it's like, oh, there were 3 Octos in the way that had to get boomeranged and slashed. It's like, okay.
I know. Yeah, you just have to shake your head.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess also if you don't quite see what has happened on someone like Kompuga, but I didn't spot, but they being on 1.5 hearts, you gotta They must have had pretty bad Octo RNG. Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. But fortunately, there's 2 pretty quick hearts to grab. One just before this button, and one in the skeleton surprise room. Yeah, it's a very minimal change. So if you are ever low on hearts, you should grab the bottom pot by the switch. Nice. Very nice, Pichu. Very nice, Dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Cop messed up that one. Unfortunate. But That's the first thing you do. You just grab pots. There's no reason to try to slash them. They're going to jump away. They're super annoying, so just immediately grab the center pot if you can to kill them. So good cleanup there. I like that slash that Dreamy did, because getting that extra like 5 or 10 rupees is really good. So by pushing that Popo to the left side, she can now pick it up. Just like that. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, if you get I know she goes for Saha rupees, so it's not going to be the same kind of time save that you would get in if you were doing tree pulls and being able to like skip one of those blue rupees, but
I think you just need 4. Yeah, I was gonna say I think you just need 4 rupees. So like she gets that blue, she is good with her 110 already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can literally get 0 rupees for the rest of it. There's so many opportunities to get rupees for the rest of this as well, with like in this back half of Eastern and in DP as well. There's just so many chances for rupees to drop in your way. Oh yeah, and
Pichu. Walking into an Igor is not the ideal. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Pichu is skipping that emergency heart and just going on the half heart.
I think we got through that. We're good there. I was just gonna mention I saw a couple people grab the bow in the center of the chest. You don't have to go all the way to the center. You actually can really grab it from the left side, so you can save yourself a little bit of time there. Unfortunate BDI messing up double readies. Looking like a good save there, Pichu. Nice job.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Gonna have to slash him now. Sorry, BDI.
Yeah, running out of arrows really sucks in this fight.
Yeah. There is like a knack for when you get close to the bottom, where the last one is trying to cut back in to do an inner circle. So you kind of want to lean a little bit more to the right.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it. And I think that both BDI and Comp kind of moved a little bit too far left, unfortunately. And a couple people a little bit low on arrows. I would highly recommend grabbing the pot at the end of Torches and Desert to grab this like a pot of 5 arrows. It'll make things a little bit easier, whether you're dealing with the Lambo fight or dealing with Pod and Castle Tower. You really don't want to be too low on arrows when it comes to this. I believe in you, Pichu. You got this.
Got spin speed. There we go.
We got it.
Frame perfect tricks. Love them.
It's one of those knacks where some days you're just on, and some days you just have a struggle. And I have not figured out the solution, but it'd be like that sometimes.
Oh, I know exactly the phenomenon. Like, I come from Minish Cap speedrunning, and we have a comparable trick called Ocarina Glitch, which is also you do one input and then a frame after you do another input. So it's and it's got that same thing of like some days you do it first try every time. Other days you have to try like 5 times and then you get it.
Okay, yeah, sounds like the same thing. So wanted to mention that some people got the back chests of Saha, and that's why they're at 100-something rupees and have bombs, and others don't. It is a little bit faster to do the tree pulls by like a few seconds. It is a little challenging to make sure you don't get hit while you're running around to get the Master Sword. I don't think it's too bad that some people make a big deal about it, but it is not that much time difference. So nice in a race setting to just go for the Saha rupees and not deal with that.
Yeah,
Dreamy's why there is like a little bit of a discrepancy between people that have 100 rupees and not.
Yeah, Dreamy's main reasoning for getting Saha rupees is not for the rupees themselves, but it's for the bombs. It's just it's the it's just that safety net of having some additional bombs for Hera and Pod. And
No, I can
also
definitely
6
see that.
seconds overall. That's they prefer that.
No, that totally makes sense. It is kind of a very tight route if you go for tree pulls. You're really looking to get like either one lucky extra bomb drop in the Crow Dodongo skeleton pack, or you can grab an extra bomb in Pod or Thieves Town, which I can point out when we get to that point. But you're right, if you make a mistake in one of the bomb jumps, you got to be a little bit more careful and figure out where you're going to get an extra bomb. All right, we have entered Desert. A lot of running around. They kind of space this dungeon out pretty well so you can use your boots. So there'll be a lot of sprinting in this one.
Yeah, we're used to having to like learn rooms by grinding out the RNG and like understanding like what are all of the different patterns that you can get. Like one of the big examples is the cannonball room. Nice from Pichu there, getting the perfect dash to get through the.
Yeah, no,
BDI
so
got
did BDI. Yeah, there's actually an audio cue that you can listen for to know exactly when the cannonballs come out. So I actually encourage my mentees to practice that room. So basically when you walk into the room, if you hear a certain delay of the cannonballs, you'll know when you get there that they're going to be in the way so you can stand in the middle of them.
Yeah, Kompu Grab got the bad RNG, and they continued their dash and got hit by the cannonball, which was unfortunate.
It is pretty tricky to stop in the center of those. I know some people actually use the lamp menu there. If you desired, it's a very good place to menu for lamp. If you're not comfortable with the stop. Most people are getting over at least the sand monster there. Yep, nice. I don't think anyone's going to be going for any spin speed outside of Desert today. But there is a half a second there off those stairs if you want it to be a little greedy. I'm going to go do some key dashes here as we pick up this pot that Pichu already did. By lining yourself up with the bottom, you can just dash through the door. You can lean yourself up against a wall, a pot, a torch. You'll see at the top of this one as well. We will lean up against that torch and boop, we're through the door.
One of the things that I've been like really appreciating is like learning on a technical level why all of these things work. Like it's like, oh, why does a lining like this like happen? Just understanding how the coordinate grid system works and movement on a computational level is like, oh, boot dashing you move at 4 pixels per frame and a tile is 16 pixels, so you every 4 frames you're going to move a tile, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. This is one of our most exciting bosses, so trying to shoot these guys with arrows. These are Lamolas. What we have to do is we have to shoot each one 4 times. And our goal is to probably aim for like a 4 or 5 cycle at this level. Start to get a little sweatier when you want to get 3 cycles. But I think anyone that can get a 4 cycle right now is actually doing really well. How are we doing with arrows? 14 arrows, 8 arrows, 1 arrow. So we might get an extra grab of pot of arrows on the way back from Mountain Descent for BDI. Oh no, Comp, careful. You don't want to take another hit. Alright, we're through. Yeah. No deaths. We're good. And now we're about to do a fake flipper, where we're going to jump into the water and screen transition on the same thing, and we're not supposed to be able to do that yet, but we're going to. So that way we can just make our way over to the mountain a little bit easier.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So there is a setup through the bushes to cut the bushes, so that way we can be right on the edge. So when we jump down, Oh, please be careful. Okay. We don't want to take damage. Well, actually, it's not as bad for Peachy since she did the transition on that screen to the left. It doesn't hard lock the game, but if you do it from the left to the right, there is a concern that you don't want to take a hit. And now Dreamy's going to scare me.
Really? If you do a screen transition with the flippers, after you've done flippers, you don't soft lock when you take a hit?
So you don't if you do it from the screen that you're taking the whirlpool on. So if you do it from the right to the left, which costs obviously a lot of time, you actually will just respawn on top of the where you jumped off.
Yeah.
But since most people are doing it from the left to the right, so that way they transition, then you will hard lock. But I think we all survived. It was a little scary. We just wanted to make chat sweat a little bit, keep everyone awake, and
I think everyone struggled with just hitting the portal.
No, you're not. It's small.
Weird.
All right, let's see how our favorite mountain does. These boulders like to be very random and hit us, and they all do 1 heart.
Nice.
No matter what armor you have. So yeah, Pichu's through.
BDI. Oh, it takes a hit, but that's.
I would have been aggressive about that too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that's honestly completely fine. You take that.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, the hop down. Oh, they lost spin speed. They need to get it again.
Yeah.
Okay, no, they're just going to. Okay.
Very unfortunate dash down. Yeah.
Dreamy got two boulders.
That was very unfortunate. That rock was like locked onto Dreamy. I'm very sorry for that. I would have gotten hit by that too.
Yeah, Kompu Grab doesn't attempt the spin speed in the lower section, but just gets it on this long staircase here.
Comp, you got some work to do with 2 hearts going into Hera. So do you, Dreamy. Good luck to you. Hera's pretty dangerous. So... So we're grabbing a small key, and then we're going to go to the top room and do tile room, because we need to get our big key here, and we have a little bit of a coffee break for some people that might use bombs here. Otherwise, you can just kind of hang where Pichu is right now, and hold your sword out, whether you do sword pokes or not, and you don't have to do anything in this room. Just hang there until the very end. It is the safe spot of the dungeon. Dreamy, I hope you are very careful in getting this big key, because I don't want you to do tile room another time.
She is absolutely going to be taking a death on the Stalfos intentionally instead of using mirror.
No, that's actually a very good call. So by doing a death warp after the big key, you'll be backed up to. I think you'll be back up to 4 hearts. I guess we'll see in a moment whether it's 4 or 5.
It's always 3 less than your max, right? Or is it? I
guess we'll see. 3? I'm not sure. I'll tell you, if you're playing Z1, it's always 3 hearts no matter what, which is awful. But let's see what happens when Dreamy takes a death warp here. It's just the right spot grid where the angles of the tiles don't hit you. I can't tell you how the math works on that, but it just seems to work out the best. And there you go. We have four hearts there.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It might be what you say when you have more hearts. It's very possible. Nice Beatles by Dreamy.
We've had a few bomb jumps here.
Yeah, so the trick of this is you're supposed to go to the next level and then fall down in a certain hole, but we're speedrunners. We don't have time for that, so we just line up a bomb when we're at the very edge, and then we just bounce across. That looked a little scary for me, Dreamy, but I'm glad that worked out for you. Oh, sorry, Comp. You're not having a good Beatles either.
That's a model down.
That is. So this boss likes to try to push you off, and you have to start the fight over again. So you want to really be careful and make sure you hit 6 hits on him. And of course, the last hit that you need to do, he goes really fast. So taking your time with this fight is pretty crucial. You really can max when he's going to come at you and when he's going to do like a little turn. It seems to be like 1 or 2 turns, and then he kind of rushes you, like what's just happening on Dreamy, where you kind of push forward.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So what Dreamy was trying to do was trying to like hold away from the hole. And because there's like that weird angle, I think that Moldorm pushed him on the down while Dreamy was holding right and kind of tricked him.
Yeah, she is trying to do like poke dashes to go, like to disable the head hitbox and like get through it, get to the backside of it, and then go to the backside. That's always our strategy with Moldorm.
It's a very good strategy.
Stuck in that bottom left side.
No, it's honestly a very good trick that when you're like do a slash and then you're like dashing in place, there is some weird collision thing where it does, or a non-collision thing with his head, and he kind of like goes through you. I do encourage for most mentees to do this only for the last hit. It's a little bit tricky to do in the first 5 because of how slow Moldorm is. So sometimes you get hit out of it, so just be careful about that. Dream, you gotta go around. There you go. All right, so people that are doing tree pulls, such as Pichu, you saw them do a tree pull after they jumped off the mountain. I should have mentioned that, I don't know, 30 seconds ago. But right now they're working on a path to kill 4 enemies as they're doing the Master Sword, and they're going to do another tree pull, which is going to force red rupees in this next one. So by pulling the first one, they got blue. That means they killed 4 enemies and took hits since the beginning of the game. I'd be impressed if anyone never took a hit through the beginning of the game and got reds there, but
it can't happen. Not with the existing route that we have.
Not with bomb jumping and stuff. I agree.
Yeah.
But now you'll see these are red because that is killing 4 enemies without taking a hit since the last tree pull, and now we have 111 there. That would be interesting, right? If we rerouted just to try to get reds off the first tree pull. Just don't take any damage from the beginning of the game.
The damage boosts we get are so valuable, though. Like just the bomb jump in of itself is more than the time save of anything else. So
no, you're absolutely right.
Let alone the damage boost to get the big key in Eastern as well. That's like doing that room, killing every single enemy.
That's a good point. I actually didn't think of that room.
Think about that one.
No, that's a fair point. I actually did forget about that room. I mean, you'd have to do something crazy, like throw a pot at the Igor, because that does tempered sword damage. Hey, Pichu. I agree with Pichu. I just do a spin attack. I don't even bother. If I lose the heart of the fairy, I don't need to do the makeup strats. Castle Tower is like one of the hardest dungeons, in my opinion. I think a lot of mentees need to practice. There are a lot of rooms that are very difficult where you can lose some time.
And almost everyone has like just so many different possibilities of what you need to do and be prepared for depending on your situation. What's your arrow count like? Do you have beams or not? There's just a big bucket of knowledge that you need to have and be able to just like immediately apply on quick notice.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Beams versus no beams is pretty important. And you're right. If you don't have arrows for certain setups, you're definitely going to have to use beam strats or some other kind of backup. To Grid's point, since Pichu dropped a heart in the dashing guards, there is a chance we might see a fairy on the hammer jump. So that's where we'll see if it'll continue. Unfortunately, Dreamy did a sword poke with the guy when the ball and chain on the left when she tried to do a spin attack. So that's what caused that to happen. But nice backup with the 3 dashes. That's a very nice quick thing to do. So that's good. That's a good way to preserve the fairy in Turtle Rock. So essentially what we're doing is we're making sure that that prize pack, that group of guards, doesn't drop a harder fairy, so we can force one to spawn in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, Pichu didn't get the best end of Aga Tower. BDI's had a great one.
Yeah, and it snowballs really quickly. Like, one guard moves in the way you don't want to, he hits you probably 2 times instead of just once because of how fast they are as you're trying to like get out of the way. It's like really annoying. But we get to play our favorite game, guys. How many blue balls times 4? We have 4 runners. They can give us as many as 0 to 15. Basically, we're trying to bounce an attack back, but sometimes Aga gives a 50-50 of the wrong attack. So how many blue balls do you guys think Aga's going to give? I'll try my best to keep track of everything, but I might need chat to help out.
Well, there's a great start. How the cycle works as well is Aga is always guaranteed to fire a regular shot for the first hit, and then they will do 3 additional cycles which are RNG, and it's straight up 50-50 whether or not they're going to do a regular shot or a blue ball. After those 4 attacks have been done, it will then do an electric, and then after that it will repeat the same pattern. So it is impossible to stay here forever because there is a guaranteed shot at some point. So the 15 blue balls is every coin toss what you got tails, and it just resulted in the guaranteed hits to get that. So like that's why the odds are just vanishingly small at that point.
We are getting way too many, by the way. I think Pichu's on 4 or 5, and BDI has at least 3 already, maybe 4.
We've got the probabilities in chat, and the probability of getting 0, 1, or 2, which is all pretty good to get because it means that you don't have an additional electric cycle happen, is about 33%. Is a 1 in 3, and then exclusively hitting exactly 3 is also another basically 1 in 3, and then anything worse than that is the remaining 1 in 3 outcomes. So like you're just overwhelmingly likely to not get anything worse than 3.
I think I saw 1 or 2 for BDI Greta. I think that Pichu just got way too many, and that's what caught it off because they were that much difference. Yeah, I think it was 1 or 2. I think Comp so far has had the best luck. We've only done 1 cycle so far.
I'm seeing some from Dreamy as well.
Yeah, Dreamy definitely has had 2 or 3. Oh, there's 1 for Comp, and there's another one for Dreamy. All right, so we're entering Dark World. We should talk about Dark World. Everything does 2 hearts or more, so you need to be a lot more careful with these enemies. So be careful about that. And we are going to have our helpful friend Kiki, who we have to pay money to open up Palace of Darkness. So this is why we were grinding up to 110. So 10 to follow, and then 100 to open up pod. So that's what we're agreeing to in Japanese right now. And if we get hit while Kiki is with us, Kiki runs away, and we need to pay him another 10 rupees in order to have him follow us. So be careful. I will tell you that these Ropas are on the rupee pack, so there's a good chance of a 5 in them. I'll say like half the time, 2/3 of the time. So hopefully if you're only off by 5, you can kill some Ropas and get them. There's actually a few Ropas on the screen if you have to go back a little bit. So just to point that out. And this dungeon is also a bit of a maze. We have a lot of small keys to get as we make our way to the big key as well as the hammer. We're going to get 2 on the way to the big key and collect a couple more because we need 1 in the back to get to the boss. So definitely write down your notes about the order of the chests in this one. Otherwise, you may get locked out.
Yeah, you do not want to skip the big key and go to the backside, and you end up doing 2 hammer jumps.
Yeah, I was going to say, landing on the big chest and recognizing you don't have the big key is pretty punishment.
Oh, Dreamy got the bad RNG on the spear moblin, and it fired the spear up, and
Yeah.
like there is one only reasonable thing to do. It's so rare. We were trying to get it to occur so that we could practice it and understand how it works, but yeah, it's the like boomerang the roper and like don't go into the spear.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said. So the rope is guarding the left side of the tunnel, and the spear guard is unfortunately throwing on the right side. And so the key is just to stay along the left side, boom the ropa, and then time between going through the spears. But you're not wrong. It's actually pretty hard to get it. It's a rare RNG, and as I was doing the training for last week, I couldn't get it. All right, we got one bomb jump. Nice, BDI. That was really good. So what we're doing here is we're lining up a bomb, and then we're going to line our cells to get pushed immediately left on top of that railing.
The fairy.
Yeah, there's the fairy, unfortunately. We're going to have to jump off there, Pichu. Unfortunately, we didn't place the bomb to our right. It's very pixel perfect, but what's comfortable about this is just the fact that you have all these pauses. So you are slowing down the floor falling behind you. I know it feels a little bit Indiana Jonesy, where you got to be like really timing it, but you have a lot of time to do pauses, as you can see. I think he needs to go one more down. Now we're too far down. Ah, that's unfortunate.
It's also the, like, if you recognize where your position is and it's like, I'm 1 pixel off, you need to try and get a 1 pixel movement somehow. And that's yeah, it's just, you try and do buffers, like, you know, you can sword buffer, but you have to be pretty confident in the timing, in over room timing, whereas like if you're going for pause buffers, you can it's just that like the comfort's there for you to be able to do it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. The sword buffering is going to save you like a second for every pause, about approximately, and but you are asking for trouble if you are not very comfortable with that. So I highly encourage practicing before you do something like that.
You could even, like, once you've done your menu, you can even like swap out for select buffers. Is it? Am I completely wrong?
No. When I was just gonna say, that's actually how I started learning the bomb jump, was I was doing select buffers. But you need to be very, very careful you don't save and quit, because that will end your run in a PB. So, but you're not wrong that select buffers are quicker than pulling up the menu. It's actually something funny to like recognize how long it takes for the menu to scroll down and then scroll back up. All right, so we have Helmasaur. Don't move up.
Oh my!
BDI.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Dying. I'm really struggling with Helmasaur as well. It's one of my big like fears is just taking a death in there.
Yeah, no, it is really tough. He does 2 hearts of damage, whether you run into him, his toenails, any fire, any tails, and you have to recognize when you are stuck against that wall, you cannot press up. He is exactly 1 tile away from you. So as much as you want to press up to hammer him or, you know, slash him, you cannot do that. You have to either wait it out or cancel your spin speed in order to do some slashes. So, yeah, very unfortunate. But it's terrifying, right? You want to end the second phase as quickly as possible, and you just want to be done with it. So in the anxiety, I am plenty guilty myself of pressing up, and like I can time it, and you just can't, unfortunately. You just have to wait it out. So that's something I guess we didn't really talk about, but the same maneuver we do for spin speed, we do in the Helmasaur fight that Dreamy just did, and it extends your hammer, and it makes the second phase a lot better because you can actually hammer the crystal without having to hold your sword. You see how Dreamy's hitting him with the hammer? That allows us to hit that without doing a sword poke trick. and that's a kill.
Yeah.
So Dreamy is our first one out of pod. You can do a double spin. Chex has a good point. So if you are lined up and stuck at the bottom as BDI was, what you can do is you can cancel your spin speed animation, because you can't slash when you put yourself in this spin speed animation and then do a double spin, and that'll count as 2 hammers. So it is one way to just finish off the fight if you have 2 more hits to go. Comp, one more. Nice. All right, we're through. We're through. There's a little bit of equalizing there, huh? With all the shenanigans in pod. We just kind of lined up wherever silliness was happening before in Light World. We're all in a crystal cutscene. Yeah. Everything balanced. We got plenty more to go. We got 4 more spins to go.
We're 40 minutes in and everyone's in the same cutscene. We do have an even spread of skill level here.
Yeah, no, definitely. So now Dreamy's our first one out. We got to deal with this pod maze one more time of running past things, and be careful of these ropas. They sometimes hit you out of your dash, and there's not much you can do really about it. So you just gotta cross your fingers and not get lotteried. And it looks like Dreamy has made it through. I'm interested to see if all 4 can make it through. Looks like Pichu has gotten past all the good ones. Yeah, you gotta be careful of that murder dactyl. Oh no, not the snapdragon. Sorry there, Pichu. Yeah, that murder dactyl will do 4 heart.
They got hit by it before going into pod as well, so they were in the starting pod without beams and.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. So we're talking to Stumpy. We're gonna listen to his sad story of how he got here. He gives us a shovel and says, "I buried the the flute, but I didn't do it in Dark World, Pichu. I did it in Light World." So we got a mirror, and then we will get our flute, and then we're holding a flute while he's holding a flute and he's playing. We've definitely got a Back to the Future problem going on right now. We got 2 flutes on the screen. But now we're going to go activate that and then make our way back into Dark World to do some Thieves Town. Actually, I should say that some people are probably going to be doing some shopping. We're going to get some powder, ice rod, ether, so this can be a place where we are doing things differently.
Oh, Usain Bolt. I haven't been able to tell how, movement-wise you can, how he comes and hits you at the right time. That red soldier, but the I guess I've been lucky every time so far because I've not
Let's see if Comp does what I'm about to mention to you. There is a flower that you want to actually touch that aggroes him early. That flower right there, and that allows him to move down a little bit further. You aggro him a bit, and that allows you to kind of squeeze past him at the top and makes it easier. I can definitely point out that flower if you're interested. But getting him to move down, it makes it a lot easier. Nice Pichu with the hammer. Let's see what BDI and Comp decide to do with the 3 musketeers. Okay, we got a slash. We did aggro him a little early. There is a trick on this screen with these 3 guards that Comp is doing, that you don't want to spawn the top one too early, and that's what allows you to get underneath him. So let's see what Comp does. So you see, unfortunately there was a clink there, and that's what kind of alerted everyone, but he actually had it in a spot where it wasn't going to spawn the top one. He could have gotten through. It's a tricky screen. There's a lot going on, but we use this portal, we go back to the Dark World, and we head right into Thieves Town. So
yeah, everyone's just going straight.
I was gonna say no one actually got the ice.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Like we talked about.
Think everyone's doing it off. It's going to be the next section. I mean, there's so many options, but yeah, it just happens to be everyone is at the same they have the same value of what route's best. So
Yeah, so I mean, in general, if you're not getting powder, it kind of is a waste of a flute to go get the ice rod and ether now. So I think that's what everyone kind of decided is if they're not getting powder for this race, that they're good and they can get their ether and ice rod in swamp, or yeah, hopefully in swamp is generally the right decision. But if you wanted to get it in Mire or Turtle Rock, as long as you get it ether before Mire and ice rod before Turtle Rock, then you're good. We are going through our favorite hell hallway as poor Dreamy has to walk through it because these conveyor belts are pushing downwards. Every enemy has their own decision of where they want to go. And
I didn't see anyone get the gold pixel.
So your goal is to get this very center pixel right in the center lane, and you can dash through everything. If not only do you hit the pixel, but also the enemies stay out of the way, and that seems to not be the case right now.
This grass hopper room is it's a real RNG gauntlet of. Luckily, everyone's doing this. You do the pause buffer for the bombs. Well, you need to do a pause to equip bombs in that room, but you can just use that to see where the grasshoppers are, and they hit like a truck. And you don't want to get hit by them, but
they do.
You have to react
to
that.
Hit with 2 hearts. Yeah,
Peachy not getting good RNG.
So we're blowing this up because the room below it is going to have lights, and we're going to be using that as our first weapon against blind. So we have to go into the attic to blow up that hole. It is a very tricky room, but I find it to be one of the more entertaining and fun rooms to practice, so I do encourage it. Oh no, the red guy is attacking Pichu. Careful, Pichu. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no!
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Is blind still following you if you die?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, you have to go all the way. Oh no!
Yeah, we have to go back. No, it is not the same as a mirror, unfortunately.
Oh, if you do mirror, you still have blind.
You know what? That's like a rando thing. I'd have to test that out to see if she stays with you when you do it in vanilla. Maybe someone in chat could answer. But it's a good question.
Yeah, it's great to learn all of this stuff. Like, you know, when just to have that information on hand when the you know, these things happen, and you just remember in the back of your mind, it's like, I need to focus on this thing. But we got blind.
We got blind. We always tease and joke that it's a scripted fight, but if it goes a little bit wrong, it can get a little scary. Dreamy hit it really nicely. And Dreamy needed to hit it being at 2 hearts, because any touch of blind or a head would have actually killed her instantly. A fireball only does 1, so I'm glad. BDI had a little bit of a struggle towards the end, but maybe only lost a couple seconds, so it wasn't too bad. Let's see how Comp does. That looks really good. Yep, so Comp is into the 3rd phase now. 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
Very nice.
You can tell on the position of blind blowing up exactly how optimal you were, but honestly, you just want to get it killed at that point and not let it get, you know, hit it a frame early or whatever before its hitbox is ready, and then it cascades into a worse fight. It's just because you were trying to hyper optimize that final.
Yeah, missing a slash can be a bit brutal over invincibility, but hopefully you can like hold sword if you recognize the situation, and maybe you can get a sword poke out of it, so you're not too late on it. But all right, so we went to Malmable Hut to collect our 300 rupees because everyone knows that flippers cost 500 rupees, so this is our first half of collecting money. And in this shopping, we're also going to get our tempered sword, which is going to make everything so much easier. I don't think anyone's going to get half magic if everyone skipped powder. But if you wanted to, this would be the time to get half magic and go visit the bats. Well, actually,
Yeah.
none of them can do it because they don't have powder. You need
Peachy
powder
also
for it.
Peachy
So,
also had a decent blind fight where, like, the very last couple of hits didn't quite land, and it was just like a quick recovery, and it's like, okay, you lost 1 second.
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I'm glad BDI remembered to turn in the sword, because that would have cost an extra transition if he
Yes.
forgot. But yeah, we got to talk to the enter the smith's house 3 times. Return him, go hand in our sword, and then we have to screen transition off and on as a way to pass time. I remember as a kid not understanding that and being very angry when I would go to talk to him and say, "Give me my sword back." But we've at least figured that out at this point. So Dreamy's collecting the last 300. So now we have 500. Yep. Oh, BDI hit the fence dash. That's pretty nice. Oh my god, we have everything on Dreamy's screen. A bee and a skull. Wow. Congratulations. You won the lottery there.
Impressive.
All right, we're going to head up to Skull Woods. And I like to say, like, once we enter the dark Lost Woods, that's like the dungeon. I say this is the dungeon where BDI is now by entering there. So really, we're going to be pretty quick through this dungeon. All we're doing is grabbing that big key, grabbing 1 or 2 small keys, and we are out to fight the boss. Nice statue.
Are these Gibdos the true boss of this dungeon?
This is a very tough room.
Moth is a actual, like, reasonable boss, so it wouldn't be fair to say that, but it's still one of the hardest parts of the whole dungeon.
No, you're not wrong. Maneuvering that statue, there are definitely a few techniques to try to get the mummies to do what they need to, and it's like a very precise movement of going to the pot immediately, trying to move down enough is definitely very frustrating. But you're not wrong. It is equally as challenging as a Mothula fight. And some people may argue that Mothula isn't the scary part of that boss fight, but the room itself, the conveyors and the spikes are really the boss. And as you see, we're skipping a puzzle and we're bomb jumping to get our fire rod instead of falling down a different hole and blowing up that wall. It's a real big action sequence. How much explosions there are. So Dreamy's heading to the back. That part's kind of a little scary. Like, a little bit. Mothula does 2 hearts each and does an attack that does 2 hearts, so it can get a little dicey pretty quickly. Oh, and now we just took a hit from a mummy. So now we're at 3 hearts. And the biggest thing about this fight that everyone needs to know is if you push him against the spikes, Mothula does not take damage. What does that mean? That means that the guys have programmed it so that way if you push him against the spikes, it doesn't hurt him. So you can't do gold sword damage to him. So let's see how we do. I think we got 1 hit there, 2 hits. So that one didn't count. Oh, there we go. We got the double hit off the top then. That must have been it. Nice. That's a very quick one. We only see 2 spikes there.
How's BDI? Yeah, Moth's staying at the top of the room.
Yeah, without having fire rod out, we just kind of have to wait, or we can kind of reset it with a slash.
Nice.
But you know what? That top left like cleared off, and you know what? You were able to push him against that wall, so no problem there. Comp loses the fairy, unfortunately. That's a mini Helmosaur we're trying to avoid. I mean, you might as well pick it up there, I guess. But you notice that he took damage. We don't want beams in the Mothula fight. Because if we use beams, then we're only going to get like some fighter sword hits on him. So taking that hit was actually very smart. Peachy's scaring me with this half a heart here. I think if you're not very strong with this fight, it is totally okay to just keep your fire rod out. It's a very good way to push him off of the spikes because it not only hits the spikes, but then does like a second hit.
Yeah,
and
it's guaranteed like the half damage of a slash. Right, it's always going to do that damage, or does it? Is it still
Sometimes
negated?
it does. I'll say that it hits 90% of the time. There are times I have fire rotted and there's a problem. Oh, Dreamy, you woke everyone up.
Wow, yeah.
So you really want to dash to the right and dash up the right side, and it like guarantees getting past them. But it can go very, very, very poorly, very quickly, unfortunately. So Pichu, we get a heart and then we lose a heart for Moldorm. Hope you take your time through this boss fight. Let's all pray for Pichu right now. Got 1 hit. That didn't count. That didn't count. 2.
Nice.
Okay, nice. Maybe one of them did count. It didn't look like it, but I'm glad.
Yeah, this next section is gonna be Quake and Flippers, and before going to Ice Palace, and Ice Palace is one that you just want to keep the your beams for. Dreamy doesn't.
Yes.
Dreamy's.
Yeah, Dreamy was trying to go for the quick fish and unfortunately hit that rock each time. So your goal is to throw something in the center of the circle, and that is what wakes up Catfish. But there is a little cheat where you can kind of save a few frames to try to go outside the circle, and unfortunately she hit the rock twice, and so she had to go get a rock from the second level.
It's something like a 6-pixel region. It's like 2 wide and 3 tall or something like that. I saw that there's an image with a visual for what you're trying to hit.
I've actually never seen that image.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to line up.
Well, there you go. There's the video that Awase just posted. So if you're interested, you can take a look. But I honestly was not going for this strat until much later. So, but I appreciate and love to see anyone go for some advanced strat. You know what? If you see something that's like really entertaining and you're like, oh, I want to learn that, you should. I encourage everyone to try it out and try to add it to their run. Sometimes it's not going to work out, but that's okay. You're trying out something new. This whole process where we're running around Zora, it's very tricky to be on the spots you want to be, and you can see how Link kind of cheats a little bit and goes onto the darker water sometimes. So it's a very good screen to practice. There is a lot of time to save to be dashing as much as you can. You don't want to be holding too many diagonals. And yeah, there's a lot going on the Ice Palace overworld, but there's also a whole lot going on in the dungeon. We definitely argue that this is a very challenging gauntlet, because we're going to get to a bombable floor, and then we have a conveyor belt room, then we have an Ice Palace bomb jump. Like there's just an onslaught of 4 or 5 rooms, so it's a very challenging section right here, and I'm interested to see how our runners do. And as you said, Myth, it is very helpful to have beams through a few of these rooms, such as conveyor belt room. So we will see how Dreamy deals with not having beams at the moment and won't have beams for the conveyor belt room. And so far, everyone has their beams. Everyone else, so we'll see. But yeah, this bombable floor is a very challenging room. Highly encourage practicing a lot. Nice. It may not hit the switch. Oh, it did. It did. See?
Yeah.
I'm good. Good to see the double bombs there. Let's see how BBI does here. We got the damage boost lined up with the spikes. Perfect. Very nice. And we are doing the slash before entering the room. This is something I did a lot before I was even trying to do the other ones. Basically, by slashing into the room, you're setting yourself up for the... Yeah, you're setting yourself up for that wiggle technique. Very nice, Dreamy with the harder dash turn. Very nice. Gonna catch up on the race against BDI there. Get a good penguin lineup. Alrighty.
Yeah, ice physics. I've been spending this week to understand the mechanics of that, and all I can say is it's basically like swimming. It's just like a momentum building up thing.
All right. Once you learn how to do it, could you teach me? Because I still don't understand how ice physics work. I just know what I need to do in 1 or 2 particular rooms, but I still don't understand. Sawyer, thank you for the raid. How was your stream?
The yeah, we use hammer like in the some of the ice rooms that we saw. But yeah, sorry, BDI is on cold stare right now.
Yeah, he missed the spin attack. He is an Oko if an eyeball hits him, but he is taking his time with spin attacks, which is definitely
Dreamy got the quick kill.
Nice. Dreamy takes the lead again.
Yeah.
But good job, BDI, for taking your time. I'm not a fan of spin attacks. I'm just a slasher when it comes to that situation. But you know what? You did a very good job. Sorry, Pichu. We're not having the best of bomb jumps at the moment.
Ooh, yeah, they've got 2 more, so... Yeah,
there we go. We're across.
Yeah. You'd be worrying a little bit about health at this moment, and
yeah, unfortunately, Cold Stare does 4 hearts of damage, so we do need to be a bit careful.
Do you take the time loss and go and grab that fairy from the pots, or is that so out of the way it's not?
I will tell you that probably costs you like a minute or so.
Versus dying.
Well, dying, you're not wrong. I think you have to believe in yourself when it
has taken a death.
Sorry, comp. That's very unfortunate.
Didn't see where they took the death, but they are doing what is the advice, and you skip ice if you take a death, and you go to go do the rest of your Dark World dungeons.
I think he's just gonna go get his magic and go back to ice. I think that's his plan right now. Because if you bonk this tree, you can get a large magic.
Oh, is that it?
That's what he's doing. I believe I agree with you that the encouragement is usually just go to swamp, or just go to the next dungeon. But that is Comp's decision to just grab the magic, which is not terrible.
It's just a backup magic. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's interesting to know. It's a guaranteed
yes
magic every time.
It is 100%. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know of any other trees that drop large magic other than that one. Like, there's a bunch of trees that drop a couple of trees that drop apples and fairies, but from my memory, that is the only one that drops the large magic. Peachy did a good job of taking her time through that fight, so survived the cold stare. That's true. I did forget to mention that some trees, if you bonk, they drop some bees for you. That is not the best. I can tell you the tree that you pull rupees out of, both of them on the way to Master Sword, if you bonk them, have bees in them. We got some Flute Adventures. Sorry, BDI.
That was a 5 to 4. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, what do you get over there? Oh, you don't.
There's some fairies in that cave if you want.
Yeah.
Alright, so Comp's making his way back to Cold Stare. Everyone else is doing their shopping. Got to get their ice rug, got to get their ether. It's kind of nice to just do this all in this split in particular, because beams are not the most important in Swamp, and they're very important, or I should say health in general is very important in Mire and Turtle Rock. So getting your shopping done here is really, really good. I highly encourage that if anyone is questioning whether they should when they should do their shopping. So if you're not getting it with powder on your way to Thieves Town after you activate the flute, it's highly encouraged to do it now. You don't want to be going into mire without enough hearts because you got hit by a few rocks or a crab or something. And now you have to do a slower mire too, for example. What do you think of Swamp Myth? Do you like Swamp or do you hate Swamp?
I think it's oddly easy in comparison to just everything else at this point in the run. It's almost like a, bit of a
We got
break.
one vote for boring of Swamp. I like Swamp because of the challenge. I understand it's like really annoying because of the RNG, and I agree with you, Myth. It's actually one of the easier dungeons because the game, or the Nintendo, expected us to go here second after beating Pod. So most enemies really only do like 1 or 2 hearts, and they're just like a lot of annoying enemies that just kind of run in your way.
Oh no! Oh, Comp takes a death in Cold Stare.
That's very unfortunate. BDI needs to remember to get the small key first. All right, figured that out. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Cold Stare is a really tough boss to practice the script.
It's so vital. It just cascades out of control. It's so easy to take the damage from the ice falling from the ceiling if you don't clean up the fight quickly on the script.
No, you're absolutely right. When you get hit by one of those ice cubes, it is very easy to just get off of script and then have to, react to the situation. No, you're not wrong. Grid, unfortunately, Comp got killed by Cold Stare again. All right, let's see if Dreamy can do the hook shot. Yep, that's holding it down right, and then we're going to hook shot across and hook shot both pots. Yep, nice. A little slow on throwing the pots, but that's definitely the idea of what you're trying to do.
That was an input like a frame early that didn't go through.
Okay.
So then just standing there holding the pot, wondering why it's not being thrown, and then reacting to throw it again. But then the enemies have moved.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Long Swamp is even more boring. So Oase is referring to getting all the shopping done that I was recommending. Is that we're extending this long this swamp to be longer by getting Ether and Ice Rod. We get it all out of the way at least, right, guys? Love to see more runs, Trinex. All right, Dreamy about to hop into the Argus fight. Let's see if Dreamy's been going for a lot of advanced strats, so I'm interested to see if she goes for.
She's bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says that she gets motivation from going for the fastest things and gets that when you pull off the fast thing, it just like motivates her to keep like playing like and skip focus on the run.
No, I totally agree with that. It is it gives you a lot more confidence when you do that. I would just say, Dreamy, if you do watch this back, I do not recommend standing above Argus when he jumps up. It hits you most of the time. It didn't hit you this time, but I'm letting you know that will do 2 hearts of damage and knock you out of your charging of the sword. So whenever you clear off and you're waiting for the second phase to start, do not go above him. So BDI making way back to Argus, Pichu getting hook shot, and Comp is going for round 3 against Mr. Cold Stare.
I guess one of the surprising things for me in the route is, like as you said, Swamp is supposed to be the second Dark World dungeon. And the hook shot's a really useful item, and it just doesn't it's not worth doing. It's like,
well, you have to find another way to route money if you want to go earlier. and you need to go get flippers. So there actually is a run that is called Glitchless Dungeon Order of a category, where you have to do them in order. And your choices now, if you're not going to do that, is to actually get some money in the back of pod and to do more tree pulls, so that way you can get to 500. Go get your flippers in Quake, and then you make your way to Swamp. And then the second thing to think about is you're not going to have Tempered Sword. So this fight is going to be twice as hard to be doing some spin attacks with to kill Argus. Yeah, Tempered Sword and just you have to think of a different kind of money route. But I do see what you're saying. It's like kind of more on the way, right? We're like passing it as we're going to get our flute. So you're not completely, inaccurate about that. All right, we got the bomb jump over there. We had a good Argus fight. Pichu a little low on the hearts. Got to be a little careful. Oh, we're just going past the hearts on the left. There are two pots over there with hearts. So Pichu just has to be careful, because usually you take one hit when you're swimming over here. So probably going to be an Oko against Argus. Oh, nice. We got around it. Never mind. All right, we can take one hit from Argus. Dreamy is in Mire, which is good. Got to be very careful with your health in Mire. We're not only going to be damage boosting to pick up a small key through spikes to lose 3 hearts, but we're also going to damage boost to fight Vidi as well. So you really only can afford like 1 or 2 hits of a fireball or something, and definitely not a hit from a wizard or a slug. So you do have to be a bit cautious.
Down for Pichu as well.
Great.
Oh, that, yeah. BDI getting the bird before going into
Mire. The bird is a little scary. It's a bit tight. You got to make sure your movement is good.
Oh no, Comp had the ice land and hit them at the start, throwing them off the cycle again. Yeah, that is such an important part of the start of the fight that it took me a while to find out, is that, like, yeah, you gotta time your fire rod shots in like a specific way, and like your movement, so that you bait the ice to land low enough so that when you move to the top of the room, it will never hit you, regardless of if it breaks in the cross pattern or the X pattern.
No, you're not wrong. There is definitely a precise timing that you have to figure out for yourself. I can always describe what I do or other runners do, but you want to have a precise movement of not only waking him up with the fire rod shot, but then to dodge the ice blocks. But another very important thing about Cold Stare is you want to make sure the end of the spin attack is hitting him when you pop him into the top right corner. And that's probably where Comp is having a little bit of difficulty, because that is what's going to give you enough time to move into the top right corner. So it is definitely a specific timing that you want to just open him up, as well as get that spin attack on. All right. So Comp is going to head to Swamp. Everyone else is
meanwhile, Dreamy's doing spooky.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a complicated glitch that we figured out. But essentially, when we landed to go to Mire, we have placed a variable for the fire rod explosion. And what we're allowed to do is when we hit this like anti-fairy here, or the spike, the explosion of the fire rod actually hits like 3 or 4 tiles higher. And so as you see, that switch on the top of Dreamy's screen is actually getting hit. And it allows us to really skip a lot of the puzzle of that, which is pretty nice. Fortunately, Dreamy just took a few hits. Still has enough health to do the strat with Vidi. Still can be done with 6 hearts.
Yeah, we've been practicing Vidi a lot, and yeah, nice. A little bit on the slow side to get the lightning, but that is still a preferable outcome to taking a death.
Yeah, no, that's essentially what you're trying to do. There may be like a little bit more tightness of making sure exactly how far away you can be out of the goop versus in it. But that was a good fight. All right, so Pichu sitting in the cutscene waiting for the big key. BDI heading to Vidi now. Is probably going to set up the glitch so I can kind of maybe further explain. But also a part of this glitch is we want to throw a little dust on the ground when we place this red block because that will mess up Spooky. So you see there's going to be a little bit of dust right there, and that will preserve that fire rod splash damage to do what we want it to do. So we don't have to deal with the puzzles in the back. So here comes one of the fire rod shots against the spike, and there is a switch higher than you that we just hit. So that allows us to go past these blocks. And then we're going to hit these as well. And then, yeah, there's a switch in the broom above you so that you're supposed to bomb the floor.
That's GG's for Dreamy. Going to be the first of our finishers. Getting the sub 114.
Yeah, GG's Dreamy. Good job. That sounds like a race to me, Dreamy.
Yeah, her splits are just heavily red and like massively behind, so it's understandable to not be happy with where the run is in comparison to like some other ones, but like it's a race, you gotta deal with something horrible happens and then just like recover for the rest of it.
Yep. Oh, 100%. That is exactly what happens in NMG races. And it sometimes makes it more exciting to see if they're an unfortunate mistake, and then the other person makes a mistake, and all of a sudden it's caught up. We kind of mentioned that as we were leaving Pod, everyone was in the crystal cutscene, so it definitely does keep everyone on their toes. Well, GG's Dreamy. Good job. Pichu, I think you got to be a little bit lower when it comes to that fire rod shot. And what happens is you really need to precisely hit the anti-fairy when it's like on the right side, as it's kind of, doing that left and right. So it's really tricky to back up if you don't have a precise way. Oh, GG Speedy Guy. So gonna have to since we spent the magic, do it the regular way. Not terrible. We're gonna go into our Vidi fight. We have 7 hearts there. Oh no, we got hit by an eyeball. Alright, we gotta do a little bit of backup here. We got some arrows. Only takes 3 arrows to kill any of the little eyes, so once you get a couple of spins in, you should be able to clean up most of them with just 1 arrow. Alright, lightning's going to go a little bit quicker, so we're going to be careful. Lightning also does 2 hearts, no matter what armor you have, so definitely a little scary, but looks like we got it. Good job, Pichu. No, I think this was a good example. I know some people feel a little bad about mistakes here and there, but like that's what happens in a race, and that just demonstrates, and hopefully each person can look back at this and be like, all right, I died here, or I had trouble in this room, and go back and review it. The goal is consistency, to get through up to this point as much as you can. So going back and reviewing it is really important to leveling up your NMG game.
I think last week it was like Escape was a bloodbath. Like so many people died, so like it was a run of like attrition to figure out like can you keep going, and yeah, that's like such a big takeaway is it kind of doesn't matter how bad your escape goes, there's so much of the rest of the run to focus on in these settings. You gotta just keep going because you never know. Someone could be making a massive mistake in
Yeah.
one of the Dark World dungeons, and there's your opportunity. Don't miss it.
No, you're absolutely right. I will tell you that there is a right amount to practice rooms and to be practicing doing a run or maybe a split. And something I've been encouraging mentees to do is when you say to yourself, you know what, I think I'm really good at Mire or I'm really good at Swamp, give yourself a little bit of a timer and just do the whole run and then see what your time is. And maybe do it like 2 or 3 times. And then when you notice there's a room that you make, a mistake of like 5 or 10 seconds, go back and review that room. That is really good practice to almost doing a run. Because as you see, you can do practice and do a room, 100 times and you're like, oh, I got this. This is no problem. But then when you have to do it an hour into a run, you're like, all right, wait, what am I supposed to do? And you only got one shot at it. So I definitely encourage everyone to do some practice segments of time attack of some kind, or to do what we just did right now, going from escape to Mire, and then point out exactly where your mistakes are, or something that doesn't go like you expected, and go back and practice it. Thanks to you, Myth, for commentating with me. Do any of our runners want to join
coming in now? So yeah, welcome in BDI. GG's.
GG's. It was a bit hairy going through the N2 splits, but we got there.
Yep, you got there. I know. If you watch it back, it was a pretty close race. It was interesting because there was definitely like a spread of Light World and some blue balls. But then when some shenanigans happened in Pod, everyone was in the crystal cutscene then, so it kind of like evened it all out again. But I think you did very well, BDI. There were definitely a couple of rooms that I'm sure you want to take back, but now you got another section to work on, and practice. Be like, all right, let me make sure that I can hit this in a run. So
the Helm of Death was definitely where it was at, and then
I felt that.
I screwed a scale. Like I think it was the green guard before the key guard. I just took a bunch of hits and ran for the pot after getting hit for the first slash as well.
Yeah, no,
it was good recovery though, because being half a heart at that point, you just don't want to die right before the chain soldier.
Yeah, I was doing some practice of like no reset running, and it's definitely a lot of deaths. It's very different of like I'm definitely going for that heart because I don't want to do all of escape again.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I totally get that. Yeah, escape is a little tricky like that, and it's obviously different in a race mindset, or than doing a run, because you're just going to reset if something goes wrong. But now that you have to commit to this race, you're going to pull out a few more safeties or grab an extra heart to make sure you can finish, since you're one and going. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of pressure.
I thought about getting mushroom, but all of the fake powder stuff is like not the splits we're doing, so it's like I'll just
it would only be for Mire. No, you're right. It would just be for before Vidi. You're right. That's the only time you're doing it, since you need Red Cane for it. So that's fair. No, that's fair. But I hope you watch it back. It was a very good race.
Yes, I had it on the side, but wasn't paying that much attention.
Yeah, that in itself is a practice if you wanted to, see how your competitors are doing, and then you maybe ease a little bit on the brakes if you're really far ahead, or you recognize you're behind and you're like, okay, well, I got to go for some harder strats. That in itself is a, comfort zone that you have to find if you're going to be competitive in that regards.
I think I was peaking during the crystal cutscenes, and after Aga, it was pretty like a tiny lead. I think I got 2 or 3 blibbles.
Yeah, I think you had 2 or 3. Pichu had like 7.
Because I didn't think I was
like 4.
First out of Hera.
Yeah, you and Pichu were like kind of close. and it kind of evened out because Pichu had like 7.
You had to,
Like you both were like entering the pyramid like within like 10 or 15 seconds.
you had an
Yeah, so
excellent
it was
catch
kind of
up
a
in
surprise to me.
Eastern. Like I think most of the time losses from escape kind of got evened out with like just a really clean Eastern.
Yeah, I was very
Yeah.
surprised when I was ahead going out after the Helma death. I look at the Helma cutscene when I run back and everyone's in the
Yeah.
cutscene at the same time. It's like, wow, okay,
there
this is a
were a
good
few
one.
mistakes in pod, unfortunately. But yeah, you were the first one out of pod, and we are joined by Comp as well. How you doing, buddy? Gab.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, GG's.
Thank you for the GG's. GG's, everyone.
Yeah, sorry, Gab. Cold Stare was not behaving today for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, never mind. Must have been somebody else. But,
yeah,
I'm glad
maybe.
you stuck. I'm glad you stuck through it, though. No, I'm glad to see that you finished, and I think you held up strong with
Yeah.
to continuing. So good
Yeah,
job on that.
I wanted to at least like not forfeit like right away. Like at least wait for everybody to finish the race. But like if I died a third time to Cold Stare, I would have forfeit right now. Like it was too much anyway. But,
no, that's fair.
yeah.
I totally get that. But
Yeah,
I think you did a lot of other things. The other segments I was watching you did a lot of the things that we talked about in practice.
Yeah.
A lot of the light world splits. So don't just focus on the Cold Stare there. Like everything else was looking really good.
Yeah, I know that. I was feeling really good about the run. Like I was very stressed up until Moldorm. When I beat Moldorm, I was like more relaxed, but Cold Stare happened, and
yeah, no, we'll definitely go over it again. No worries there. But no, being in a race environment is very stressful.
Yeah.
And you got to commit to it. You're not just practicing, like I was saying before. We're not practicing a room over and over and over again. Like you have one shot at it, and if something doesn't go right, then we scramble a little bit or try to learn a backup for when something goes wrong. So
yeah, but like I think that first time I fought Cold Stare, like I was getting bodied by everything. And so, like, there's no time to back anything up. The second time, I think I really was not paying attention. And the third time, like, I defeated it. But even in the third time, it was really a messy thing. But, the rest of the run was fine. And, that's how it is.
Yeah, that's best said. That's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely pick apart some things we can clean up for the next week and get you stronger.
Yes, always.
Myth, do you have any questions for BDI or Gab?
I think we have some questions. At least I think Sawyer said that they had some questions, and at the end of the race now is kind of a good opportunity to do a bit of a Q&A.
Yeah, sure. Chat, do you have any questions about the run? I was actually very surprised that no one grabbed powder. I did not remember that was something we talked about, Gab or BDI.
We talked about taking mushroom.
Yeah.
And at the last second, I decided not to take it.
Yeah, so did BDI not take it as well. That's really funny.
Yeah. Would not have helped me with Cold Stare anyway.
That's true. That was another thing BDI also brought up. It was like it really would have only been for Biddy. So for this particular race, it would not have been too important.
Yeah, I've genuinely been kind of not getting. I think Saint Card is the only safety I take, and I've been doing that from the start of Lightning, and it's pushing me to play better, which I think is good, but also it can make the runs a lot longer when you die more.
Yeah, and more
absolutely
frustrating. I think we were not required to take Quake at Catfish. We could have skipped Quake because you could have
ran by. I think that for the race and keeping in the mentee
I-
program, you want to grab
Yeah.
Quake. You don't want to ruin
Yeah,
that
yeah.
memory. But you're
I
not wrong.
was wondering if Dreamy was going to do that because she used both the bush and the skull to try and go for the quick catfish and missed both of them, and then had to go and like climb up the stairs and go and get like one of the other ones to go for it. And I was like, you don't need Quake.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I figured that out like the moment I threw something in the circle and say, hey, I don't need it. Oh, too late. But yeah.
No, that's pretty funny to think about. I almost wonder
Did
if
you
there's
skip
more
Ice Rod
optimal
then?
routes. Yeah, you skip Ice Rod as well. That's a good point. You don't want to.
Dreamy did not finish with Ice Rod in her inventory at the end.
Yeah, we
Did
don't
everyone
need
get
Ice
it?
Rod. We don't need Ice Rod either.
Yeah, yeah. Funny.
Well, anyway.
Anything else you guys want to mention as we wrap things up? EDI, Gab, thanks for racing. I know it adds a little bit of stress, but hopefully it'll get you more experienced in a racing format when it comes to this kind of thing, and you learn something from this.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, GG's everybody, as well as Sawyer, Dreamy.
Looks like we're going to go raid Vortex of Doom. So
Yeah, good job, everyone. So tomorrow, Blue will be presenting the next section, and that is going to be an overview of how to get that big bomb if you need gold and silvers for some of our mentees. Most of them this year are being pretty hardcore and just skipping some of the safeties, which is cool too. But at looks like tomorrow, Sunday, March 8th. And that'll be updated in the MP announcements channel for Mentor Program shortly after this stream ends. So I will get that info out for all of the mentees. But great job, everyone. We do need to note that there is American Daylight Saving Time starting 2 a.m. So please keep that in mind. But have a great weekend, everyone, and hope to see you back tomorrow. Thanks.